Hey everybody, welcome to the Morphin Grid. I am Josh.
I'm Jake.
And this is episode 22.
Yes.
Yes.
Morphin Grid, Disc 3.
Disc 3, episode 2.
Episode 2.
You said it last time.
I know.
I gotta stop drumming on myself because that's probably going
It'll
over.
pick up. Maybe. I don't know. The mics are really good, so they don't pick up a lot of noise that you don't need. Anyway, this episode is The Trouble with Shellshock, because Josh didn't mention it.
I was gonna, but then we talked about something else that I already forgot.
Then you talked about drumming on your legs.
Right, and that ruined everything.
Yep.
Now I hit the wire, and that probably ruined everything.
I don't know. I don't think so. So it aired October 11th, 1993, and I want to make a correction, because in the last episode, I said that it aired on the 8th. It aired on the 9th, but that was the fourth one we had recorded that day, and that's the first one I didn't look at the date for, because I got used to just knowing what they were, and I screwed up, because that's what I do. Also, sorry for not having an episode on Monday. Somebody, I'm not going to point any fingers.
It was me.
So I'll just tell you, it was Josh. Josh hecked everything all up by being a little baby, taking a million naps.
No, it was just one good one.
One really good nap.
I just felt terrible for existing that day. I don't know. It was weird. I just wanted to lay down and sleep, and then I did. And now I'm better. Now it's fine.
And so we're recording this on a Tuesday. I'm going to edit it tonight. You'll have it tomorrow. You'll have it today to you. To us,
you'll have it right now because you're listening
you'll have
to
it right now. Isn't that amazing? Technology, man. But yeah, sorry, we're not gonna miss any more Mondays. I hope.
I mean, we'll see.
Josh, the one thing we said was Mondays. Whatever. So if you're new here and you made it past Green Week and you came out on the other side, thanks for coming, guys. It was a long week for everybody. It was a really long week for me because I had to edit all of those in a very short amount of time. But anyway, if you're new here, what we do is we pause the recording, we watch an episode of Power Rangers, we come back and we talk about it. Like I said, today is The Trouble with Shellshock. He's got a traffic light on him. That's what I know about him. It's going to be great.
Is it going to be great?
I hope so.
It is. I think it is.
All right.
There's some cool stuff, I think, from this episode that I remember that we'll talk about in a minute.
We'll talk about it in a minute because we're going to go watch it. And you can, too, if you pause right in a second. Not right now because then you'll unpause. And then I'll still be talking about stuff that I should be talking about later.
All right, we're rambling. Are you guys ready?
Rambling.
You're ready.
You're ready.
We're ready.
It's Morphin time. And we're back. We just watched The Trouble with Shellshock, and it was goofy. We got straight up weird at some points.
Yeah, there's some really some things that don't make sense. But because of the footage, we'll talk about them.
Yeah, there are a couple things. That
There's just things in the footage they had to use, and
I have a couple ideas about a couple of them. Like specifically one way later on in the episode, like the fix. I think I know why the fix is the way it is.
All right.
But before we get started, morphingrid.tumblr.com, littleidiots.morphingrid@gmail.com, @morphingrid on Twitter. Those are the places that we are on the internet. You know, you've heard it.
Check us out.
If this is your first episode, that's where you can find us.
Right.
Also, we're on iTunes. If you're there, if you like leaving a rating or review, that would be cool. Speaking of people who leave rating and reviews, we have an email.
This is like a new segment almost.
What, talking
We
about?
read emails on the air.
Yeah.
We just
If
need,
we get
need
more.
we need more.
So far, we have one from... It's not Seiki 3.
That's how it looks.
That's how it looks, but it's, here's... I'm just going to read the whole email.
Okay, sure.
And if it gets...
I haven't read it yet.
He has not read it. I've kept it a secret. Also, he's really lazy to go check
I could
the
have
email.
read it at any time. I just didn't.
I almost just read his real name. I don't need to do that to you. Subject line is, Sup, Morphin Grid? If it wasn't obvious from my email address, this is, and I'm going to say Seiki again. This is Seiki 3 because this is how I read it the first time from iTunes. It's pronounced Sakai, though honestly, I don't really have a true pronunciation since as far as I can tell, I made it up when I was a kid. I remember that when I was maybe 7 or 8, and you could still rent video game systems from Blockbuster, my parents rented me a PlayStation and some fighting game. The character I liked playing was named Sockeye, and I used that as a username ever since. Funny thing is, I've never found any evidence of this game existing, so it was just something my childhood mind made up, but I've just stuck with it. There are several games. There's more to the...
You guys have a lot in common already.
There are several video games and movies and things that I, for the longest time, was convinced I made up.
There's only one
There is a video game that I still can't find that I hope is real.
that I remember playing a lot, and it wasn't great, but I was a kid, and I don't know what it was called, and I can't find it anywhere.
What was it about?
You're like a cop, like a future cop, and it's a combination of like driving your car, and then like when you get to the destination, it's like a side scroller beat 'em up.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah. So there's driving levels and then beat 'em up levels. And it was super hard. I died on the first level every time. I want to say it was called Time Cop, but I know it wasn't.
No, that's a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. My video game that I made up, and I alternated in my head between it being a PlayStation game or a Super Nintendo game, because it had like cartoon graphics, but it wasn't. It was either early PlayStation because it looked like a Super Nintendo game, and that was like before they learned how to use the technology, I guess.
Right.
Or it was a Super Nintendo game, or the third option is obviously that it doesn't exist. You played like a ninja girl who had like a white robe, and it was like a Link to the Past style, like top down, like that kind of isometric-ish. It's not like skewed to the side, but like kind of top downy. And I remember it being super fun, and I remember for some reason wanting to bury it in my yard so we didn't have to return it to Hannaford's. I don't know why. But it might not exist. So
Our dog.
that's
I love
possible.
this thing. I want to put it in a hole.
Yeah, I want it to be mine. Also, there's a movie called Sebastian the Star Bear, which I kept telling people about, and nobody believed me. So finally, I just Googled it, and it's a real movie that really exists that I'm going to buy on VHS and watch once I get a VHS player. Oh, you guys have one.
We have one.
Yeah, we'll watch it at your house.
Cool.
You'll see how goofy it is. Anyway, the rest of the email is... Anyway, I thought I'd hit you guys up, let you know that Schizophrenic, my GF, and I are still listening and enjoying every episode. Also, a few episodes back, Jake mentioned he likes body-switching shows/stories. You have to watch an anime called Kokoro Connect. The entire premise of the show is that 4 students have to live with their bodies inexplicably shuffling back and forth, and it's kind of like musical chairs with people. Makes for some emotional and introspective stuff.
We should check that out.
I don't like anime because it's for nerds.
Says the guy on the Power Rangers podcast.
That's the joke. But that sounds like the most amazing thing ever. I'm definitely going to check that out. Thank you for emailing. Also, I like that you and your girlfriend put reviews up, because it's like, I don't know, you're cool. You're both cool, positive people, and cool, positive people deserve each other. So
Yeah, that's cool.
congratulations to you guys. Anyway, we're going to jump into the episode now, because I feel like that was an hour and a half long.
Not as long as me trying to get the intro out.
That's correct. That will probably be a good chunk of that. Anyway, that's our email. If you guys email in, we'll probably read it on the show. We are desperate for attention. So yeah. Anyway, let's jump into the episode. It starts out with basketballing. Jason and Zach and Tommy are basketballing around.
Jason and Zach, first of all, are having a basketball at each other.
Yes.
And Tommy's watching on the sidelines.
You know,
Brewery. On the sidelines, just kind of clapping and going, yeah, haha, because he's having fun.
I was thinking during this, I'm like, it's a really good thing all of these kids are extroverted, because they like hang out and do things a lot. Like, even Billy is like, to an extent, extroverted. If my friends are like, hey, we're all gonna go play basketball at the basketball court, I'd be like, I'm not.
Just be like, no thanks. No please.
I mean, maybe, like, depending on who else was there.
When I was a kid, with my group of friends, I would.
Yeah.
But, like, not now.
Yeah, no, definitely not now. But yeah, like it was like Josh and Eli and Jacob and Leighton, and we're like, we're gonna go to basketball. Like, yeah, absolutely, let's go. I'm terrible at basketball, but we'll play. And they're like, oh, also Steve is coming, or whoever else, you know. I'd be like, no, never mind.
Something suddenly came up. It was Steve. Now I don't
remember
want
that I'm busy and my oven is on, and I
I'm
can't
the same
come.
way.
So anyway, Squat the infiltrator of the bad guys.
Yeah.
He infiltrates the park, teleports in the distance. Nobody notices, and then he starts yelling at himself about how he's going to get those Power Rangers. Him and Babu are making a monster.
Because it's Rita's nap day.
Yeah, so we cut back up to...
Maybe this is a weekend.
I mean,
it didn't air on the weekend.
But it could still be a weekend.
But yeah. That's why Rita doesn't attack on the weekends, because she's sleeping.
She just sleeps the whole weekend. We cut back up to, we cut up to the moon. First time we're going to the moon. And Rita is sleeping and snoring like my dad. And Squat and Babu are like sneaking around, but still yelling at each other to be quiet. And they're creating a monster, and it's going to kill these Power Rangers once and for all. And Squat has like a cabinet, or Babu, he opens a cabinet, pulls out a turtle who looks like Bebop. Is Bebop the turtle?
Nope.
Rocksteady's the turtle.
No, neither of them are a turtle. One of them's a boar and one of them's a rhino.
Who's the turtle?
I can't remember.
The snapping turtle?
Razor?
Razor.
It's Razor.
I was like, one of them's a warthog type thing.
That's Bebop.
That's Bebop. And then I was like, the other one has to be that turtle. That's
Nope.
the only one I can remember.
Rocksteady's a rhino.
Well, now I remember. Now that rings a bell. Because he beat the crap out of us in that Ninja Turtles game for like
Yeah,
an
we
hour
had
and
to
a
use
half.
like 10 quarters
I
on
know.
him.
So they have Razor. Squad is not impressed with this turtle. He's like, it's a turtle, whatever. No one's afraid of a turtle. And then Babu looks super proud of himself.
He's like, but I got
He's
this.
like, I got this. And he's holding up a little traffic light and then sticks the traffic light into him. And then he's like, huh?
Yeah.
And then so they walk over to the Monster-matic. And I guess Finster is off on the weekends. So like
He's on vacation.
He's downstairs in Club Bandora. He's enjoying the club.
Right, sure.
He's at the slots.
Everybody is. Rita's taking a nap. Finster and Goldar are clubbing. And Scorpina, because Scorpina's there now.
Scorpion exists now.
They're out clubbing
right
at the Club Bandora.
at Club Bandora.
Not Squat and Babu, though. They're introverted, so they stayed home.
They stayed home. Right. No, good choice, guys. Because I mean, they do go out and do stuff. They try to destroy the world. On
Yeah,
the
but they don't
weekends.
want to go party with the others.
No, they're just
Like,
different. That's
they
all.
just-
So they put it on the conveyor belt to the Monster-matic, and I don't know if it was Squad or Babu, but one of them's like, "We're gonna need more stuff because we can't just do this."
Babu's like, let's give him some weapons, too.
Yeah, so they
Woohoo.
put like a baseball and a baseball bat, like little ones, down on the
The
thing.
baseball's actual size.
Yes, which oddly enough, they never used the baseball itself. Like he does not spit out baseballs. We'll get to it. Then they put down a cannon, put him in the Monster-matic,
And a hook.
and a hook.
And a Captain Hook. You put your hand in it and hold
Right.
it.
Yes.
One of those hooks.
And they put it in the Monster-matic, turn it on, it starts going, and Babu is like, "Shut up, Squad! I told you to be quiet." Meanwhile, the Monster-matic is like clanging,
Is making the most noise.
It's like it sounds like a factory in there, and he's like, "Quiet! You're gonna wake up Rita." And she like kind of wakes up for a second and is like, and then just turns over.
She has that like one eye open, the other one's like fluttering, kind of. Oh, never mind.
Also, they're talking about names when they put him on the conveyor belt, and Squat's like, "What are you gonna name him?" And Babu's like, "I was thinking either Greta or Pitosh or Pitouche,
Pitouche.
And then Squat's like, "That's stupid. Let's call him Shellshock." And then Babu's like, "All right, I guess."
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's no Pitouche, but whatever. What is Pitouche? Is that like a real name?
I don't know.
It sounds like a name that French people would give their cat. This is my French cat, Pitouche. So we cut back down to more basketballing.
Now it's Zach and Tommy.
Well, that's at the very end of the episode too. I
That's
thought they
round
were all
2, remember? Jason's
Right.
like, round 2. Ding, ding, ding.
He does say that. Spoiler alert,
Oh,
guys.
no, I ruined the whole episode.
So Zach has this whole thing about.
I can't remember it.
It's like he's like Ric Flair.
Yeah.
He's Ric Flairing his basketball.
Slamma-jamma, mamma-jamma,
Uh,
rootin' tootin', cowboy shooting.
Whole bunch of stuff. The one he used against Jason
They all start with Slamma Jamma.
Yeah, Slamma Jamma.
Slamma Jamma.
He says it's gonna hurt because it's in your face or something like that. Later on, he's like, it's gonna hurt so bad you're gonna need a doctor, an ambulance, a medic. It's like, yeah, okay, those are the things.
And then Tommy just goes, yeah, for you, ha ha ha.
Because they're having fun.
Because they're having fun.
Basketballing is fun.
That's my version of Tommy's laugh. It's awful.
It's terrible. But I wasn't gonna say anything.
It's way more genuine on the show.
Yeah. So then, wouldn't you know it, Putty's attack to soften him up. Which is, I like that they say, let's send Putties to soften him up. Because they know that, like, if we just send this monster, it's going to get killed right away. So, like, well, let's send some Putties down.
Even though they've been playing basketball all day.
Right, they're all sweaty. Well, I mean, Kimberly, Billy, and Trini are going to be fine. At first, it seems like, hey, this is the new Tommy episode. Welcome to the Tommy Show. Because he, like, is the first one it focuses on. He does, like, a spin kick. And then he turns around and kicks one of them. And it's, like, no mercy. You know, like...
Right. It's replay.
KO.
Where you hit a big move and it immediately shows it again 3 times.
Yeah.
It was that. It was exactly that.
It was literally that. But then it goes back to everybody, you know, a regular fight with Kimberly doing some flips.
It's not just Tommy, which is cool.
I was worried it was going to be. I was like,
that doesn't happen until he's the White Ranger, really.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Obviously, he's the centerpiece of the Green Candle arc.
Right, but like in the regular episodes, it's not just...
Yeah, it's not Tommy and the Power Rangers.
Yeah, they just wove him in. They're like, now there's a 6th Ranger. Everyone is fine. So they beat the Putties pretty easily. There's a lot of like cool basketball stuff where they like throw it
This is my note.
each other's heads. Oh, right, Josh has a note.
I have a note,
Boys
you
trying to
guys.
step.
I got this under control. My note is Putties shut off.
Yes, because they did just
Because they're just
stop.
fighting the Putties, right? They didn't beat them. They're still up going,
Yeah.
right? And then they just go away. Which normally I thought that was just Rita pulling them out.
Nope, they
But
just
it's not.
ran
They
out
just-
of juice.
They only can exist for so long, I guess, because Babu freaks out.
Yeah, and he's like, why did they just stop?
He's like, no, tell me that didn't happen. And then Squad's like, I won't tell you, but I'll be lying.
So then Squad and Babu were like, well, let's go down with Shellshock, who has a stop ray, a go ray, and presumably a caution ray.
Yeah.
If we're following. We never see the caution ray.
Wasted opportunity.
Yeah, it could have been a whole episode of Jason being terrified of stuff. But instead...
Or just really hesitant.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
No. We're gonna jump into... Oh, no. I have one note before what was Kimberly wearing. Tommy looks at his communicator and goes, oh, I can see the time. I got to go karate practice now. There's no clock face on that watch.
It's basically a microphone.
It's a speaker.
top.
Yeah. It looks like that, but with some lines on it. I pointed at our microphone. I know you
Yes.
couldn't see that. It's an audio podcast, but now you know because I explained the joke. So now for what was Kimberly wearing. Also, R.I.P. in peace me. I am dead now. Because Kimberly...
As is the case just about every
pretty much
episode.
every week. Number 1, her hair is on point today. Number 2, she is wearing a floral pink dress. You guys. And her Doc Martens. I don't know what else to do. This is...
I don't know what else to do but be dead.
I'm just going to be dead.
Be dead.
So, I mean, that's it. If you... maybe I'll start taking screen caps of what Kimberly's wearing and putting that in the Tumblr
Oh, man.
thing. Yeah, it's only going to create more work for me. But if you go to that, you'll be able to see it. By the way, if you go check out morphingood.tumblr.com, I updated with all of the things. And
We're
the only
up to
thing...
date.
The only thing
Presumably
that you
also
get,
with this episode, but who knows?
yeah, I'll probably do. I got in the groove of it the other day, so I should be able to knock it out pretty quick.
Cool.
But the only thing that is on the Tumblr right now that you are not getting from the iTunes description, because you already have the download, you already know all the links to find us online, and you have the description of the episodes. The only thing that's new is I take a screenshot of what I think is the funniest or most pertinent part of the episode, and I put it up. And sometimes they are on point.
Yes, there's a great one of the Sneerin' Babe.
Sneerin' Babe is the gold medal thus far.
There's a really good one of Tommy punching at the camera.
Yeah, for Green Week Part 1.
The switching places one was one of my favorites.
There was a lot that I was gonna go with, and I was like, no, that's the best one. I almost did
that it sums up the episode.
Exactly. I almost did Billy very gently touching Jason's muscles when he's in Kimberly's body, but I didn't. I went with the more obvious one that I think works better. Anyway, back to the episode at hand. Now that I'm alive again, because I've had time to cope with Kimberly. Babu and Squat attack with Shellshock, and Jason calmly points at Shellshock and goes, "It's morphin' time," and then they morph.
Hey, come on. You go morph. There's a guy.
Oh, again, morphin' time. They morph.
Well, first, they're playing a basketball.
They do more basketball.
It rolls off onto the grass, and Shellshock blows it up with his Go Ray.
Right. It goes so much. This basketball goes kaboom.
Goes kaboom.
Also, I forgot to mention, during the fight, Zach takes time to dunk because game's not over yet. He's getting them points.
Right after he dunks, the putties disappear.
Yeah, he dunked the putties to death. He dunked so hard. He is so baller that all of the putties
That's why he
off.
won. That's why he beat Tommy in that first game, is because he dunked while they were fighting the putties, which gave him the 2 more points he needed.
Yeah, that's why he fought Jason in basketball.
I think it's pretty obvious how much we know about real sports.
Yes. Shellshock blows up the basketball. Then they morph. Immediately, Trini is hit with the Go Ray and runs off into the sunset. She just...
First she runs a play, she's like, oh guys.
And that's not doing enough.
Oh crap, Alpha.
That's not enough going. So she just runs away.
So she turns around and just leaves.
And then it cuts to Japanese footage.
Yep.
And I assume
maybe that's just how they wrote Trini out, because Boy isn't in the footage.
Well, because Boy is later, and once we get there, I will explain what I think happened, and we definitely need to watch ZU Ranger more.
Yeah.
So we know what the other half is.
It's so weird. I don't feel like there's enough episodes. There's Zio Ranger that
there are 40 episodes, right?
All this, because we've watched, 10 of them?
We watched like 5.
No, we only watched 5? All right.
But there were parts of Dark Warrior that came from episode 35 of ZU Ranger.
All right.
And sometimes they'll take 2 episodes, because there's a lot of 2-parters that are just 1 episode over here. Yeah. And I'm like, where did the other parts come from? Where is the rest? So we need to do that sometime. Anyway, Trini runs away because Boy is off on a mission, I think. And like I said, we'll explain it later once the thing that I was like, oh, that's it. Once we hit that, I'll explain my theory.
Cool.
So they shoot a stop ray, they being one guy, they being Shellshock.
At the command of Squat and Babu.
Yes, because Squat and Babu are basically Shellshock's parents. As far as that's the way he's treating them, I think, because they made him.
Right.
And so he's just going to do
That's
whatever
definitely
they say.
the way they're treating him.
Yes, absolutely. They shoot. Before then, he pulls his arm in, and out comes a baseball bat. Yep. And I was hoping for a second that his arm was just going to be a baseball bat. But alas, it was a regular turtle arm holding a baseball.
We get something kind of like that.
We do get that in a second. And then this is what I said about the baseball earlier, is he doesn't shoot baseballs out of his mouth, or his arm is not a baseball. His other arm's not a baseball or anything. But Babu has Squat has infinity baseballs ready to go.
Yeah, and he's really quick at tossing them.
He tosses them up, and they also fall very quickly because he just hits 15 baseballs at the Power Rangers.
Right. Which they dodge all of.
They dodge all of, but they don't dodge it in a way that they're whatever. They dodge it in the way where we had to jump on the ground. Ouch. Because then they get back up. He pulls his head down. Head comes back up. And it's a cannon.
It's a cannon. His head is a cannon.
His head is a cannon. I wish one of his arms was a baseball, but I'll take head as a cannon.
That would be stupid.
I don't remember. Did the claw ever come into play?
When they're giant.
Okay, yeah. All right. I was too busy writing notes, I guess. to pay.
That's why
all
I watch
attention.
the episode or play a cell phone game.
Yeah. At one point, Josh just played some game about elevators.
It's called Tiny Tower. You wouldn't understand.
You're right. I wouldn't. It sounds stupid. I don't like management games. That's why it is. Because I get overwhelmed. You saw my Facebook post about me trying to cook the other night.
I just started playing Roller Coaster Tycoon again the other day.
Oh God! Why would you do that to yourself?
I'm rocking it.
Well, good
I'm
for you.
done. I meet all the objectives like 4 months ahead of time. It's great.
So they go to commercial, I think, is what happened. And let me see if I'm getting the order.
No, because he hits all the baseballs at him,
He hits all the baseballs at him.
and then they're like, "Oh,
Okay, all right,
and then
yeah.
he freezes them.
And he freezes them, but not Jason.
But Jason moved.
Because Jason jumps in, then Jason gets hit with the head cannon.
Yeah. You'd think it would be Billy or Trini, but no.
But it was not.
It was Jason.
If it would have been Billy or Trini, though, oh man, I'd have been like confirmed, truly confirmed.
No Trilly watch this episode.
No Trilly watch.
That I picked up on.
The only thing is really just Billy not wanting to play basketball because he's sitting next to Trini on the bench, but they're not being cutesy or anything.
See,
so.
they're not even on the same level on the bench.
No, it'll come back. It'll come back.
Well, we're gonna have Kimmy. How would you combine Tommy and Kimberly?
It wouldn't be Timmy.
Timberly.
Tomberly.
Tomberly. Yeah, they'll be coming up soon.
Yes. Okay, so they shoot Jason with a cannon. Then we go to commercial. And when we come back from commercial,
Yeah,
Squat and Babu are on the moon and Squat's like, why did we leave? We had him.
right. Yeah, because he shoots him with the cannon, and then Jason does something, and then they leave. They didn't just shoot him and then it cut, because we see them warp out.
Did we?
Yes.
I was writing.
I don't remember what Jason did, but they left. And then we go to commercial, and then we come back, and they're like, "Why did we leave?" And then
It's because they didn't have the footage to stay.
yeah, that was all. That's all she wrote.
Yep. So while they're arguing, Goldar is also arguing with them because Goldar got tired. He was clubbing.
You can tell he's been clubbing because his voice is very
His
hoarse.
voice is wrong again. So
because he's been yelling.
Well, because it's loud. You can't just talk to
Yeah.
people. So then we go to the command center where Billy, Kimberly, and Zach are like, "Oh no,
they're
frozen.
in sort of the same position.
they're in an approximate position." And
It looks like they got frozen while dancing the robot.
they were having a dance off at Club Pandora.
Right.
Shellshock was like, "This is my moment." And shot him so they look goofy. And then the way to fix them is a rare flower that only grows one place in the
first-
universe.
Alpha's scanning them with something, and he's like, "Oh no, Jason, there's no cure for this." And immediately Zordon's like, "No, there is.
No, there is.
Don't be dumb,
Quick-
little android."
Quick question. This is me raising my hand for Zordon. Number one, this is a two-part question. Number one, how do you know that this flower will cure a monster that was just made by idiots? How do you know that? And then part two, if you know where this flower is, why don't you just have some in the command center?
Because he was probably like, "No one's ever gonna make Shellshock. We don't need that. That's stupid. He's a turtle with a thing on his neck. It's dumb." That was Zordon. That was Zordon saying all that.
No, I felt like I was there.
Yeah.
But I understand there's a flower because in the Japanese version it's a lot more mystical than ours.
Right.
So they have to deal with that somehow. But
Zordon just knows things.
but how does he know that
He has this weird.
Is it like this flower can cure traffic light beams?
It's just this weird knowledge that when he needs to know something, he'll know it.
Okay.
Because he's a giant head in a tube.
Right.
And he couldn't have told them before because they morphed immediately without talking to him.
Right, because Shellshock, so they panicked.
Right.
Okay. At first, before they even mention that there's a rare flower, only one place in the universe, fixes everything that it needs to. It's a piece of phlebotinum. Before they mention that, it seems like they were like, "Oh no, they're frozen," and they were going to make no mention about Trini running away.
Right.
It just sounded like they were going to be like, what do we do to fix these three? Because they're the only ones that matter right now.
Because Trini's gone. She's
Trini
dead.
ran away. She ran into the ocean. She's gone forever. But instead, they're like, I sent Trini to go find it because she's just going to be running anyway. She can't sit in a Zord.
Did he direct her? It was like, turn right.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So she's just running. Then we cut to Rita, who is mad about Shellshock, but not yet.
Because he's doing good.
Because it might work, right? So like
At this point, Squat and Babu have almost beaten the Power Rangers.
right, and she might be a little mad about that. That these two dummy dumbs.
Right.
She says, and we are 22 episodes into the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yes.
And this is the
Mighty
first
Morphin.
the first
You
time.
said it
I know
incorrectly.
I hit the G on purpose. Okay,
Well, it's wrong.
Let's
because
move
it's not even
on.
how it's spelt.
You're right, and I didn't find that out until last year, and I was like, "What?" Lost my train of thought.
Yeah, now I killed it. I killed the Morphin.
Way to go! 22 episodes in to Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and Rita's most popular catchphrase, "Magic wand, make my monster grow," finally shows up.
Makes an appearance.
Before, the closest we got was "Magic wand, make my Goldar grow,"
Yep.
but now, make her monster grow. And I'm wondering,
Because a lot of the time before this, if it's not Goldar, she just says, "Yeah, try this,"
or
grow, or grow. Yes.
yeah.
Also that.
Jason is the only person who has not been affected by a stomp or a go beam.
He just got blasted with a head cannon.
With a head cannon. So now he's looking out for Trilly Watch too. He is like, I'll go hold Shellshock off in the Tyrannosaurus. We cut to Tommy, who, as you'll remember, had karate practice. Now Tommy is just showing off how good at every kind of karate he is.
God, he's unbelievable.
Because he's got this stick, right? Like a bow staff. And he's just throwing it around. By the way, when we saw him at, not MegaCon. MegaCon
Wizard
is
World?
a convention in Florida that happened this weekend. Wizard World, yes. He did a demonstration. Part of this demonstration was with a bow staff. He had a sword. And he had nunchucks. Then at the end, he lit the nunchucks on fire.
Nunchucks.
I'm going to call them nunchucks until I die. Just get ready for that. I know it's nunchucks, but the first time I heard it, it sounded like nunchucks, and here we are. And now we're here. So, and then he had an assistant who lit his sword on fire.
Yep.
And then they fought each other with weapons on fire. With basically charcoal weapons doused in lighter fluid, lit on fire in a very public forum.
It was really cool.
It was really cool. Jason David Frank is really good at everything.
He's planning out another world record.
Is he gonna?
He hasn't said what. Just that there's a new Guinness World Record coming.
Because if you don't know, he holds the Guinness World Record for most boards punched in twain while in free fall.
Yes.
Which is crazy.
7. I think he broke 7 of them.
He had like 8 or 9 guys. And he hit the altitude where you have to hit your parachute or else you fall to your death or whatever. Or else you don't get enough time to slow down, maybe.
The video for that is insane.
Yeah, it is. So
look it up. It's great.
Yeah. So anyway, Tommy is doing his staff trick.
We can post that video on our Tumblr.
We could do that.
You should teach me how to use Tumblr.
It's not hard. We'll do
and
it
then
afterwards.
I'll link the video. I'll embed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah, I can help with other stuff.
So anyway, other than just showing up and then just uploading.
Yeah.
When I send you something.
I also made the cover art.
That's true. I could not have done that. It would have just been...
We would have said the Morphin grid, Helvetica on a white background.
Maybe Courier, because I like Courier better than Helvetica.
You do like, yeah.
So, don't shake your head at me.
It's really good for writing scripts, so I know why you like it.
It's my favorite looking font, and all of the letters are the same size.
They're the same size.
Which I really like, because I'm persnickety about stuff like that. Anyway, so he does his routine. Back to the episode. He does his routine. Then he just stops and looks at his stick. He's like, good work, stick. He doesn't say that, but that's what he's thinking.
He's so fast.
Yes. He could...
For a minute, I thought he was just going to take off like a helicopter.
He's just...
I must away. I must go find Trini.
She's in trouble. His communicator beeps, and he's like, "No, I know what I need to do. Don't teleport me, Alpha. I got this." But his communicator beeps, and Jason's like, "I need your help fighting Shellshock."
He's in the Tyrannosaurus. He knocked over. Shellshock knocked him down, and he's just, Tommy, I need your help with this guy. Tommy's like, "Yeah, I'll be right there."
Yep. Literally just that. Well, no, Tommy's a little more urgent about it because he had
a little
the
more,
voice
but still
over
not
yet.
a lot.
But like in the Tyrannosaurus
This is
cockpit,
just Tuesday for Jason. This is
right. But like in the cockpit, Jason is yelling because that's what he does.
He's using his Power
but
Ranger
because
voice.
he had to do a voiceover,
Right.
he wasn't so amped. I guess, even though it's the same, because he's not actually in. Now that I'm thinking about it, he's not actually in the Tyrannosaurus cockpit. He's not a
Tyrannosaurus for
Power
real.
Ranger. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, he's super calm about it. Tommy teleports off. Then we cut to Trini, where she is just running up a mountain, like you do. And I forgot that I vividly remembered just her running up a mountain.
Yeah.
That's one of the Power Ranger memories that has stuck with me, I guess. But then something really, really weird happens. Over the mountain, we're seeing footage of the mountain, and then overlaid, superimposed on top of that.
The song, because that's an Aussie song.
Sure.
Just trust me.
I will.
I didn't, though, because I knew you wouldn't get it.
It would be...
and I would have just been all embarrassed because I'm a horrible singer.
Here's the mountain. Here's some footage of the mountain. And then superimposed over it is the Tiger Zord, the saber-toothed Tiger Zord.
Yep.
Like sitting, begging for a treat, kind of. And Zordon's like, "I have sent you the spirit of the saber-toothed tiger because it will protect you."
Call upon it for help.
Yeah. So like, what? Okay.
I don't know, because immediately after that she sees the flower.
Right, and then she like looks at it and goes, "Saber-toothed tiger, give me that flower."
And then it does.
And then it wiggles over to her hand. And
I think it teleports, doesn't it? I thought it teleported.
No, maybe it did. I don't know. I was so confused about why there was a shot. They could have just cut that out and had Tommy just do some more karate for a minute to make up the time.
Could have had Johnny Young Bosch come in.
It's too early.
That's my favorite thing. That's my favorite scene in Power Rangers.
I am very excited
We can't talk
to get
about
there.
it for like a year.
Yeah. We'll get there. Anyway, let's break it down. The saber-toothed tiger gives her the ability to find flowers.
This one time.
But we don't get a good taste of that because she immediately sees the flower. So it's not like she was like, "I can smell it thanks to the saber-toothed tiger."
It didn't help her find the flower. It just brought it to her when she
Couldn't she
saw
just
it. Yeah, she
jogged
could
up?
have, because she can't stop moving. But instead, she stopped moving, and the saber-toothed tiger...
Well, she was still kind of like running in place a little bit.
The essence of the saber-toothed tiger warped it into her hand.
Wiggled it over to her. I don't know what's going on with that.
It was a weird thing. Like I said when we watched it, it was a weird thing.
It was a really weird thing. Oh, and that's after this is when Tommy is like, or Jason's like, "I need you to go and fight the guy."
Oh, it's after?
Yep.
All right.
According to my notes. Whatever. Tommy morphs.
Yep.
And then he calls the Dragon Zord. And Josh and I both got chills here and that.
I got actual goosebumps. Oh, it's so good.
It is. I just wrote the Dragon Zord cometh.
It's only 6 notes.
Yeah. Even the second one, which is the kill him Dragon Zord.
It's like they're both
is that the
kind of
one that shoots
interchangeable,
the
but
laser or the rockets?
he only uses the main one to summon it.
And then every other thing is
he uses a combination of that and then
we
there's
just yell at the same time. So
and then there's the second one, which which he'll use to command it, but he uses both of them to command it.
Right.
I have to watch more to see if they do different things when he uses them.
Right.
Because they have to, otherwise, why is there 2?
Lucky for you, that's kind of what this podcast is about.
Yeah.
It's us watching more Power Rangers.
Yep.
So Dragon Zord is fighting Shellshock with T-Rex. I don't remember a lot of the fight because
The hook hand comes out.
This is when the hook hand comes out. Okay.
He swings it at him, probably hits him with it. I don't remember.
Because here's what happened. Trini teleports in.
Well, he
Slash-
freezes them.
Right, yes, you're right. So Slash, she either teleports in or runs up Shellshock because she can't stop running. And she is standing on top of his head.
Running in place.
Running in place. Here's my note. Trini was not hit by a go beam. She was hit by the jazzercise beam on accident. Because she's got the flowers over her head. And she's doing like a rain dance, right? Like trying to get...
I don't want to derail this, but maybe Kofi Kingston was hit with a go beam.
Everything makes sense now. Ryback hit Kofi Kingston with a go beam.
With a go beam. If Ryback starts using another move and he calls it the go beam,
We'll know. Well, I'll tweet him. I'm like, hey, buddy.
he'll just delete it.
Who can't delete my tweet?
He'll figure it out. He's the king of tweet and delete.
That's true. Anyway, back on track. So she's doing jazzercise, cast a spell. Everybody is unstopped. They jump in the Megazord. Megazord fights them. Mega Dragazord? Does that happen?
Nope.
Dragon Megazord?
No, they don't Megazord this episode.
They don't? They just...
the other three, after they're unfrozen, stay and they watch the fight on the viewing globe instead of going to help.
You're right. Because Billy's like, has anything happened? And he's like throwing his head around.
Right, like move again.
Because he's acting really hard.
But you can't see his face, so he has to exaggerate.
I know. Look, everyone, and I know the movie hadn't come out yet, but like if you're in a mask and you need to be able to act well, just watch the first Spider-Man movie and watch Willem Dafoe, because he is perfect in that. And it might not even be him under the mask. So
I feel like it is. But I have no proof.
No proof. I mean, I'd like to think of this. But anyway, he's like wiggling his head. His hands are all up like, what's going on? And he's like, is there any movement on that Shellshock front? You know, because we've been frozen. So then, they just turn around and they watch the rest of the fight like friends, like good, helpful people.
Good, helpful people.
So here's the thing I was talking about earlier. Here's what I think happened. Here's my fix. Or not my fix. The fix is I got the flower, do a rain dance. Everyone's unfrozen, beat you up, right?
Yep.
I think what is happening is Boy is doing a ritual on top of Shellshock's head.
Okay.
Or Traffic Gamera, or whatever his name is.
He's jaywalking. He's jaywalking on Shellshock's head.
But he's doing like a sort of a ritual to like cast the unfreeze spell, the unstop spell. And the producers saw that and went, what if Trini's hit with a go beam? And she's running because she can't stand still.
The go beam is only in the American footage. It's not in any of the source footage.
At least not in the cut down episode.
Not that we saw.
Not that we saw. And if it is, I don't remember it.
Unless Boy does get hit with it, we'll have to watch it and see.
We'll have to watch it and see.
I have no idea.
But anyway, Megazord, Dragazord.
It's just Dragonzord and T-Rex.
Dragonzord and T-Rex. Double dragon the crap out of Shellshock.
Billy and Chuck Dragon.
Billy and Chuck Dragon kill Shellshock. The day is saved thanks to the Powerpuff Rangers. And then we go back up to Rita, who is mad that the thing that she thought was going to work didn't, even though it cost her literally nothing except for one wand out of 1,000,000.
And a running of the... Who knows what kind of electricity that takes?
Got to be crazy. Well, no, she's on the moon. She can just use hydrogen-3 from the moon to power everything. It's super efficient. I guess. I don't know how anyone knows what's on the moon.
It's fine.
I mean, we haven't been up there in like 50 years. Then we got back to more basketballs. Basketballs, part 5, Revenge of Basketballs.
Round 2, ding, 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 ding.
He doesn't even say it with that much enthusiasm. He goes, ding, ding, round 2.
He rings the bell. He makes an actual bell ringing noise. He doesn't just say ding, ding.
But he doesn't say it like...
He's like, ding, 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 ding.
It seems like Austin St. John was a little embarrassed to be saying it. So he half phoned it in, but then tried to play it off like, whatever, I'm cool. Who cares?
We're all friends still.
We're all friends here for now, until you don't pay me enough, and I split with 2 of the others. Again, more basketballs. Zach beats Tommy again.
Yep.
Because Zach is the best at basketball. Because he
got that
psychs you out. That's the problem. That's just a layup. And the last one was just like a three.
It was a 3-pointer.
Yeah.
Just any
Like,
3-point shot.
It's just he's
What if he
technically
missed? It's my mamma jamma, ramming jammin', super duper,
poopa scoopa.
poopa scoopa, mug shot, long distance. And then he, that's awful.
Mug shot.
I don't know.
He
Whatever.
said long shot.
Mug shot, long shot. It's all the same thing.
Yeah.
And then he shoots it, and it just goes over the backboard. He's like, it's too long. I'm so good at shooting, I shot it too far.
Then I think they would have probably filmed that again.
Filmed it again until he got
Until he
it.
got
That's
it right.
probably actually what happened.
Or he just sunk that three.
Or he was
like it's
Mr.
his-
Perfect about it.
Yeah.
Said he was going to do it, and then he just
He
did.
did it. So he just does a layup, which is, but that's not that move is not like the killer app. It's he psychs you out by like telling
Right.
you all how much hurt he's going to put on you, and then he just does a regular
You need a
move.
doctor, ambulance, medic to
All of
save
them,
you.
all three of them need to be here because you're going to be dead from this dunk, like those putties were. And he doesn't dunk; he does a layup,
Does
and
a
you're
layup.
like, "What?"
Guess I'm buying lunch.
Yep.
Loser buys
We
lunch.
totally forgot about Bulk and Skull being thrown into a hot dog cart because spoilers or not spoilers, surprise, Bulk and Skull get food on them again. That's literally
That's the only
thing.
reason they show up in this episode is to get condiments dumped
Every
on their
other
head.
episode they only show up to get something dumped on their heads. That's it.
Yep.
We didn't even see him working because they're like, "You're gonna have to work for 2 weeks to pay off all these hot dogs you ruined."
That was just a joke.
we could have saw them working it off later.
Okay, let's talk about that for a minute because it's funny. They show up. This is before anything happens.
This is
really.
like this is right after
Right
Zach
after the-
beats Jason.
Okay. They show up. They're like, hey, this is our spot. And Jason's like, this is our spot, too. And that's our ball because the ball rolled over to him and they picked it up.
Right.
Like bullies.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something happens and
That's
they
just 9/10.
because Trini is buying everybody
Hot
lunch.
Hot
'Cause
dogs.
She apparently lost all the basketball games
This
before
is
we
why she's
arrived.
sitting out. Or maybe her mom did what my mom does and is like, "Here's a bunch of money.
You're right.
Go buy everybody lunch."
It's $50.
Not like a bunch of money. Here's like $25. But yeah.
Right. Yeah.
'Cause it's
Enough money to
1993.
buy everybody
Yeah,
a decent
it's
lunch.
probably like, here's $10. Buy everybody lunch. Give me the change because it'll be plenty. It's 1993 and they're hot dogs.
Yeah.
How expensive can they be?
I don't remember what I don't know why they fell into the hot dog cart.
I don't know what the lead up was, but all of a sudden, I almost just called him Jack because that's Jason and Zach put together. Jason and Zach jump Bulk, hold his arms, and then Kimberly is like do-si-doing
Oh, right.
with Skull and throws him into Bulk.
Into bulk. And then they tumble into the hot dog cart. And
I was dead from Kimberly's dress at this point. So
Skull at some point caught a hot dog, but then a bunch of mustard and ketchup fell on him. And they both take a bite of the hot dog. And then the guy's like, you're going to have to pay for that.
they spit it out.
So they spit
Because
it
they
out.
didn't eat it, so it doesn't count.
They don't have any money. So they spit it out.
But they have to work it off anyway. You might as well have eaten the hot dog. Also, how much food did they ruin that they need to work for 2 weeks?
At least half a thing of ketchup and mustard.
That's like, what, $3?
2 weeks. And
That's like an hour of
He's
work.
trying to teach
each.
them also a lesson.
Well,
not just
Sorry,
you need to make one hot dog for me.
misplaced New York City street vendor.
Misplaced or conveniently placed?
Very convenient place because he's literally the only.
He shows
they're
up
in a-
exactly when the Power Rangers are hungry.
They're in a field with a basketball court in it.
They're in Angel Grove Park.
And yes, but there's nothing else. There's a bench, there's a picnic table, and a basketball court, and a hot dog vendor. This is not a good location to put your business.
He
Oh, like-
sold 5 hot dogs today.
But then he got like 1,000 ruined.
I don't know. I'm not a businessman.
Anyway,
Follow the Power Rangers around. They get hungry.
back to the end of the episode. Billy gets off the bench. So Billy wasn't sitting on the bench because he didn't like to play basketball. He was sitting on the bench because he's too good.
Well, maybe I have a different theory.
Okay.
It's that Billy has never played basketball. So he's watching to see how it's played, and he's calculating how to make shots in his head.
But he doesn't make any shots. He dunks.
He dunks. Well, he's calculating, angles and wind resistance and stuff.
how strong his legs need to be to dunk?
Yeah.
That's not
how much
math.
momentum he needs to get up. Look, he's a gymnast.
No, he's not. Billy's not a gymnast. David
Right.
Yost is a gymnast.
But he's still built like a tree trunk. Like,
you got to look at
as much
it
as
in
they
the
want to hide
context.
that. And I also noticed Jason David Frank had an extremely baggy shirt on in this episode.
Yeah, he did. Are they trying to look? They show him doing
Because
karate
he's
the
not
best.
even like he's not muscly, but he's way leaner than he's like Zach levels of lean.
Yeah, he is a lot leaner than Jason. So maybe they're like, we got to make him look buff.
I don't know. It's weird. It's just
Even
weird
though
that he's
even though the
wearing
fighting styles are the opposite.
a green hooded tarp.
Yeah, in California, in presumably
The hot sun.
one of the warmer months, which is every month except for December and January. 'Cause that's the only time it gets cold out there.
Right.
I don't know.
It's weird.
Anyway, Billy dunks. Everyone's like, "What?" And then the episode ends.
He also had some ridiculous name for his
The
moves.
more phenomenal.
It was
anatomical.
no, I think he brought up morphitudinous again.
I think he did. It's not going to be a thing, Billy. Quit trying to make it a thing.
Because it would be like a really smart word and then a really dumb 70s slang word.
Yeah.
Like, it's my vernacular, bodacious.
He said vernacular.
Vernacular, spectacular.
Vernacular spectacular.
Something
That's what we're calling the
tubular,
episode.
something bodacious, something morphitudinous. Or maybe it was bodacious, morphitudinous. I don't know.
I don't know.
It was
either.
really complex. It was like a math equation.
Yeah, I didn't like it. It was dumb. But then he dunked on Zach, so I mean,
So Tommy has to buy Zach's lunch, but Zach has to buy Billy's lunch.
right. And then Trini should get her money back because they never got their hot dogs. I hope no money changed hands on that deal. But anyway, the episode's over. Final thoughts.
It's goofy. I like it.
Yeah, I like the idea of because Finster takes this time and care to sculpt a monster with all the appropriate accoutrements. But I like the idea that you can also be like turtle, baseball, cannon, hook, go.
Yeah, it's a feature of the Monstermatic that
It just
doesn't come up.
mashes everything together and it's like, here's your monster, here's what you wanted. I like that. I wish there was a lot more like that, but I mean, nothing we can do about it now.
Nope.
It's been off the air for 21 years.
That's it.
That's it. I mean, we talked a lot about the episode, in depth. I like that it's just goofy. I like, there's no real stakes, like, because we needed a breather.
Well, Squat and Babu, for a hot second, almost win.
Yeah, they almost beat
Like-
the Power Rangers.
Other than Tommy, this is the closest they've gotten as a team to being beaten.
That's true.
Because Green Ranger was just murking them.
He was
he was running.
eating
he was
everybody's
running train
lunch.
on
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, he's a very effective bad dude. He could save or kidnap the president's daughter if he wanted to, because he's also kind of a ninja. But anyway,
That's it.
I think we're gonna.
I think we're
be
done. Yeah.
So, in conclusion, if you want to talk to us online, you can go to morphingrid.tumblr.com, or you can email us at littleidiots.morphingrid@gmail.com, or you can talk to us on Twitter at morphingrid. If you want to leave us a rating and review on iTunes, that would be sweet. You can join the ranks of Morphin Grid approved really cool people. Sockeye 3. I still feel like I'm saying that wrong because I'm terrible at pronouncing things that people write that I've never read myself before. And Schizophrenic, you can be cool like them.
Yeah.
I mean, you're cool anyway because you're listening to us. So you're okay in my book.
We just want to know. We want to know
Yes.
that you're listening to us. We want to be able to put names to the upwards of 13 people who have downloaded an episode.
Again, starved for attention. Also,
Pretty much.
before we leave, I do want to point out that I am wearing red shorts and that Josh and I got into an argument because you guys know how much I hate red pants. And Josh doesn't get the difference between red shorts and red pants. But you do. You get it.
Well, now that you've told them that.
Anyway, enough about my shorts. This might even get cut. Who knows?
That's been the Morphin Grid.
That has been podcast. And until next time, may the power protect you.
Ay, 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 ay.
Good save. My head got in front of my knees again.